probably be the most harrowing grab scooter ride I ever take. This may be the most harrowing grab bike ride that I ever take. If you don't know what that is, I am on the back of this driver's motorbike, and it's like Uber, but instead of getting into the safety of the back of a car, you get on the back of some random person's motor scooter and, well, hang on for dear life. I usually do not take the motor scooter option when I call a grab. Typically, I'll take the car. One, for the safety factor, and two, for cosmetic reasons. My hair, you gotta throw the helmet on, or leave the helmet off. In either case, my haircut turns into a frizzy mess. So typically don't take the grab scooter if I'm going somewhere social, but in this case, I had to go into District 10 and take a look at what District 10 is like at rush hour. I mean, it is chaos out here. This is just, it makes no sense at all. There's no rhyme or reason to the traffic patterns here. There was our first little contact. I'm sure it won't be the last one on this 20-minute ride home. But there's no rhyme or reason to the traffic rules here. It's just every driver for themselves. And it's fairly common to see scars on the forearms and legs of Vietnamese friends because of accidents that have happened either on their own motor scooter or more typically when they were on the back of a grab bike like this. And as far as like insurance and that kind of thing goes here, when people get into accidents, even if there are broken bones and serious contusions involved, they typically just settle the score right there between themselves. I was in the back of a grab car one time, and we plowed into a motorbike rider and sent him flying into a parked car, and it looked like his arm was broken, but my grab driver just paid the guy off, and they both got out of there quickly, because if the police come in Vietnam, you're the guilty party and the police come, you not only have to pay the injured person, but you've also got to pay the police a bribe. So getting into an accident here is kind of a high-risk endeavor. Here we go again. There's another one of these traffic circles. Wish us luck. Yeah. I had to go into District 10 from District 7. Maybe 5-6 kilometers or something like that. But as I said, it is rush hour, and in the back of a car, the cars cannot cut through traffic like the motorbikes can. So it took quite a while. I had to get my drone repaired. And so on the way back home here, I decided to go for the Grab bike ride. Not only to save time, but money. The ride over in the car cost me 200,000 VND, about $10. And this motor scooter ride is going to cost me just over 100,000 VND, so about $5. And the ride over took about 40 minutes. The ride home should take about half that time, maybe a 20-minute ride. It is, wow. I've never seen traffic quite like this. But it is the beginning of the Tet holiday. I believe the Lunar New Year was officially last night. At least the beginning of the vacation that most people take for Tet. It's Monday today. And last night on Sunday there were Lunar New Year celebrations. And today, a lot of people are like trying to finish up their work and get out of town for the Tet holiday. Many of the Vietnamese that live in Saigon will just disappear for 2 weeks to a month in January for the Tet holiday. So that's some of what's going on now. Probably 80% of this though is just normal District 10 traffic. District 10, if I were to compare the districts in Vietnam to the boroughs in Manhattan, if District 1 were the downtown or sort of like main part of Manhattan, Lincoln Center and all the museums, District 2 would be like maybe the Upper West Side. District 2 is where a lot of the Western expats live. District 7, where I'm staying, that'd be like Brooklyn, not the Williamsburg hipster version of Brooklyn, but Brooklyn. District 10, where we're at now, it's kind of like Queens. Call it like Queens. A lot of local people live there. A lot of little local shops, a lot of camera stores or electronic stores, and a lot of traffic. You'll see some of the very interesting things people carry on their motorbikes. For instance, the rest of their family. I see a couple of, a little kid over there on the front of the bike. This guy's got like a Tet celebration flower bucket or planter on the back of his bike. I've seen a 5-up on a motor scooter, 2 adult women and 3 children. One was a toddler that one of the women was holding in her arms. 2 of them were small boys. One of them was in the sort of like standing up in the steering wheel of the scooter. One of them was sitting off of the back of the motorbike on a rack. So there were 5 people on one motorbike. Let's see what sort of interesting motorbike passenger configurations we see today. It is rush hour. You typically see those family situations on a Sunday when the whole family's out shopping and whatnot. We're about to go over a bridge. This is where the Grab car that I was in got stuck before. All this congestion going over the bridge here. It is pandemonium. Another interesting thing you see about the motorbike culture are the women that wear these like wraps around their legs, and they usually got like a wrap, this sort of like skirt that covers up whatever they might be wearing underneath, with a hooded sweatshirt. Here we go. Got the wrap covering her dress, the hooded sweatshirt, and well, no gloves. Usually the women will like fully cover their bodies, and most of that's because of just the pollution and the dust and grime that ends up covering you when you're on a motorbike for 45 minutes going through this polluted city traffic. Exactly sure where we are right now, but somewhere in between District 10 and District 7. And as you can hear, this place is loud. It's a constant drone of motorbikes and horns and loudspeakers. But this threading of the needle that we're doing is why I've taken the Grab bike on the way home. Yeah, I got you. Yep. I see. We've got a plus the Yui right here. I love when I see these like fashionable women on a motor scooter. Real contrast. She's got her nice pink dress on, pearl necklace, amongst all this motorbike grime. You see a lot of decorations in the city today because of the Tet holiday. It is a really big deal for them here. It's the season of what they call lucky money, kind of like Christmas gifts. If you're like one of the elders or one of the people in your family or social circle who is known to have the money, you're expected to, you're expected to dole it out to everyone else. They call it lucky money. Now here's a tech gift basket in this woman's arms here on the back of the motorcycle. For some reason or another, they're really big into these like Dutch crackers for the Tet holiday. I don't know where that tradition came from, but a lot of Dutch crackers sold here in Vietnam. I think they're Dutch anyway. I've never been down this street on the way home, so apparently this is a motorbike driver's shortcut. Wow. Welcome to the Vietnamese commute. I thought living in Los Angeles was fun. Now we're coming back into the heart of D7. It's a little more spread out, less congested, a little more pleasant. You see the apartment buildings are a bit nicer, newer. We've got Rodeo Drive-esque palm tree lined streets. Whitewashed sort of neighborhood, and a lot of big shopping centers out here in D7. If you're looking for sort of a pleasant domestic place to live in Saigon, there are a lot of neighborhoods in District 7 that are the best it's going to get anyway. Out here, you don't find many or any street food vendors cooking meat with wood and charcoal right on the sidewalk. The streets are wider. The stores are more modern, more Western. They Vietnamese sort of nickname D7 Koreatown because a lot of Koreans live out this way. But still traffic. Lots and lots of traffic. Here's one of those holiday displays out in front of the mall there. Beer also, that's a huge thing. Out in front of most of the shopping centers, they've set up the beer companies have set up these giant booths where I've seen people carting away several cases of beer. I think a lot of drinking and gambling gets done with all that lucky money during the Tet holiday. Good job. Thank you. Still here. Whoa. Not for the faint of heart. The ride on the back of these grab bikes. Not for the faint of heart. Although I have to say, I've done this in Thailand. I had to get across town in Thailand. Also, when I had to get a drone repaired. Anyway, in Thailand, the rate of speed seems to be a little faster. And the threading of the needle between cars seems to be a little more dangerous in Thailand. So, it's not, it can get worse. So now we're getting close to my apartment building, and as you can see, this part of District 7 is a little more congested. Sidewalks are tighter, and it's like typically motorbikes lined up everywhere along the sidewalk. It's a little noisier, much more white and grime, and general pollution. I'm beginning to catch the scent of red meat burning on charcoal again. Oh, the sights and sounds and smells of Saigon. There goes, there was a family on a motorbike. I don't know where they went to. Okay, we are in the home stretch. About a minute or two away from my building. Hope you found my commentary useful and you've made it alive. Hope you've enjoyed the ride. Oh, I may have spoken soon. Okay, I think we're gonna make it alive. Whoa. Yeah, that was the last major dangerous intersection I crossed. So it looks like I'll make it home alive. And I hope you've enjoyed the ride in Saigon.